Have you ever wondered what your football club's biggest legend would look like playing for a different team? Well, my club's biggest legend, Kevin De Bruyne, is leaving. But thankfully, most signs are pointing towards him going to another club that I actually really like a lot. So today I'm going to create a kit swap of him to this club, as someone who has done about 2 kit swaps ever and doesn't really know what he's doing, but we move. I'm going to walk you through my entire process, from the kit swap itself to adding shadows and highlights that make the final image look realistic and grab your attention. Stay watching until the end to see the impressive before and after. So, let's get started.
Let me talk! Let me talk! Let me talk! Let me talk!
What if you could make any footballer wear any kit you want? Well, you can. Let's start with the foundation of any great kit swap, preparing your player image. First, we need to completely isolate KDB from the background. I've done this already since that is very boring to watch. Next, we need to remove all the existing details from KDB's current kit. Using generative fill, I carefully erased logos, badges, and any distinctive patterns. This gave us a clean canvas to work with. It also replicates the natural folds and shadows of the kit, and these details make the final swap look realistic.
Let me talk! Let me talk! Let me talk! Let me talk!
What makes a kit swap look amateur versus professional? It's all in how you handle the details. Next, I added the new Napoli kit elements. I found an image of this season's Napoli kit online, and I downloaded high quality images of the logos that are already on the shirt. Next, I cut out the collar from the Napoli shirt. This is a tricky part as we need it to look natural around KDB's neck. I placed them around his neck and warped them. It was definitely looking a bit awful, but after some more warping and making the collar bigger and flatter, the result looked convincing enough. It's important to maintain consistent lighting across all added elements. I used an exposure adjustment layer to paint shadows underneath the collar to make it look less fake and like it's actually meant to be there. I added these elements and then used the warp tool to make them perfectly fit KDB's body. The key is to follow the natural contours of his torso, using the original photo as reference. Using Blend If brings the original shadows back and blends the otherwise flat logos into the texture of the shirt. Now for those distinctive white stripes on the side of the shirt and sleeves. I used a gradient map going from white to black to create the white colour while ensuring the existing shadows remain intact. Then, I painted on the sleeve details using the original sleeves as reference, and created a random line on the side of the shirt using the pen tool, and warped it until it looks similar to the Napoli kit, while still matching KDB's body proportions and the perspective. On the shirt itself, there's a small detail where the badge is used as a pattern on the shirt. To try subtly replicate this, I cut out parts from the Napoli shirt and placed them onto KDB's body, warping them accordingly and using blend if to bring back the original shadows and highlights. The effect turned out to be quite subtle, but it does a good job of adding detail to the kit and making it more convincing.
Let me talk! Let me talk! Let me talk! Let me talk!
How do you make your player look like they're actually in the stadium? Let's create an environment that sells the illusion. First, I added this stadium background along with a nice dramatic sky. The angle works well with KDB's pose, which is really important for a believable edit. I also adjusted the darkness of the stadium image to better match the night sky, and added a color balance adjustment layer to add some blue tones to the background, as I knew one of the light sources was going to be blue. I applied field blur to make the background slightly out of focus and create depth of field, just like it would be in a real photo where the player is the main subject. Next, I added a light source using this stock image with pixelated grid lines. I turned it blue using a hue saturation layer and used curves to make those brighter parts really pop. Using a layer mask, I masked away the parts I wanted to be less visible, as I only wanted the blue light to be on his left side.
Let me talk! Let me talk! Let me talk! Let me talk!
What separates amateur edits from professional ones? It's all about making everything work together as one cohesive image. Now I'll show you my process for retouching the player using curves adjustment layers. By painting over the existing shadows and highlights using two separate curves layers set to the multiply and screen blend modes respectively, I enhanced the contrast and brought up details in KDB's face and the kit. I matched the subject to the background using exposure and colour balance adjustment layers, making sure the lighting and colour tone of KDB matches the stadium environment. This is where the magic happens, creating realistic shadows and highlights. Using exposure and hue saturation adjustment layers with layer masks, I painted shadows and highlights where the environment and light sources would naturally create them. To really project the light coming from the light sources, I added subtle glows using blue and white colour fill layers set to the linear dodge add blend mode. And then for post-processing, a few colour lookups, and finally a camera raw filter. And there you have it. Now you know my complete process for creating convincing kit swaps. You've learned not just the basic steps, but all those advanced techniques that make your edits look professional, from proper preparation to those final blending tricks. Remember, great kit swaps are all about attention to detail and creating natural integration between all elements. Take your time, practice these techniques, and you'll be creating professional quality edits in no time. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more tutorials like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.